appétit.
Hey, welcome to Game Pass Gumbo. I'm Goldshell. We are joined by Mr. Corkenstein. What's up, buddy?
Hey, bud. How you doing?
Doing all right. It's been a hiatus. I just want to let everyone know I've been going through a lot of family stuff, so that explains the hiatus. I'm a dad and a husband first, and gamer and producer of this show comes way after that. But I think I got things situated. We got some changes coming up soon as far as what we're doing, and then I'm going to segue to Cork again.
Okay. Copy that. Or do you want me to jump in now, or is that the segue?
Yeah, just kind of explain. No, go ahead and explain briefly what we're going to do and
so starting in I guess now 2026, I'll be taking a step back from Game Pass Gumbo. It's going to be passed off to Goldshell and Token here because I'm really, really busy. These guys can do a lot more with the channel than I can with what I've got going on as well with work and other podcasts. And we just hit 1 million subscribers on our Xbox, which is a massive milestone. We had a bunch of developers reach out to us, give us codes. We had Xbox give us codes. Mr. Ben Kenobi himself dedicated. Thank you. Let me see if I have it. There we go. So we have Mr. Ben Kenobi himself. That is a very long soundbite. I did not realize it. That's the first time I've used it. We've had Ben Kenobi himself give us a really cool Fallout statue and token, which we just wrapped. So it's a big milestone. I think what's next is we kind of hinted about it a long time ago, is that we're going to move more into maybe doing previews and reviews for the subreddit, something that's really never been done on Reddit in that sense, from a gaming subreddit. So we're going to try and move that forward. Hopefully that'll be something that takes off, but we still have to get media press. We still have to make sure the community actually wants something like that from us. It's going to be a process, but that's going to take a lot of time and commitment that I won't be able to keep jumping in and producing and hosting and doing a bunch of other stuff. So the max I could probably do if I'm going to be producing and hosting is maybe like one or two things. And so, it's best that I step back and not kind of hold back the channel on these awesome content that Goldshell makes and Q makes. And it'll be a pretty good time for you guys.
Fark you. Hey, buddy. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you hanging out. And
good old Fark you, the AI master.
And I'm introducing the new my permanent partner in crime co-host, Token Black Hero 8. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What's going on? It's been a little bit. We've been off for a while, but that's okay because we're gonna come back strong in 2026 as soon as I mute my phone. Cork's got bigger, better things going on, and we're gonna have to step up a little bit if we want to keep Game Pass Gumbo going, which we do. So here's to stepping up.
It's such a unique channel and idea that Goldshell created. So I really hope you guys just take it and run the ball with it. You guys have already done some pretty amazing stuff with the channel. So I'm definitely excited to see what you guys got going or have coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna have some brainstorming sessions for 2026 indeed.
Well, we got Streets of Rage to plan that. Because you and I played a little bit of Streets of Rage 4 last night, did 3 levels. It was a blast. I'm ass at it. But,
I was about to say, let's be real. I played Streets of Rage 4. You kind of walked through the level.
Yep. So
very nice.
What is I guess what's the standout? We're coming into the new year. This is the first podcast of the year. Where you guys stand? What was your favorite game of 2025?
I can start if you want. Yeah, so I think absolutely my favorite game that I played last year was The Outer Worlds 2. The Outer Worlds hit me, the first one in 2019. It hit me surprisingly hard when I played it. I've been a fan of Obsidian games before, but this was like, everybody was like it's Fallout in space, but it was a little bit more than that. It just gave me like, even though it was first person, it took me back to being able to play like one of my favorite RPGs of all time, Mass Effect, because it's space setting, the decisions that you made, like kind of made the story progress forward and also change the way that stuff happened. Not so much, not to a crazy degree, but enough. But you could obviously play the game and tell that it was hampered by, the things that if you watch the documentaries when they talk about it, that they talk about. They had a certain size budget, they had a certain amount of time, and they got what they got out within that budget and within that time. The Outer Worlds 2 was everything that the first game should have been with proper budget and proper time. It was bigger, better, and overall just a magnificent playthrough. I had some technical issues that were a little bit frustrating, but one of the last things that they put out kind of completely got rid of all that. So I had a really good time playing my build. Noticing as you play, how you play through a game and you notice that as you play through, when you're making decisions, when you're doing certain things with a certain build, you can be like, oh, well, this would have been different if I didn't have this skill. This would have been different if I didn't have this option of saying something to talk. So you could really tell that the reactivity was high in that game just from my one playthrough. It's one of the few games that I've played in the last couple of years where I was tempted to go back and run it back right away and play a second playthrough. I didn't because I got so much other stuff to play, but like I was very tempted to just be like, you know what, let me put a different build up and go again. I'm about to do it. But yeah, the Outer Worlds 2 definitely takes number one for this year for me. Special shout out to Doom the Dark Ages and South of Midnight. No, absolutely.
Mr.
And the Altars.
Oh, there you go.
Solid. No, solid picks. For me, it was Blueprints. Solid game. Absolutely. I've spent so much time on that. Let me see. I got like pages of this kind of stuff just scribbled out, of doing like symbols and writing and just everything. Like this is all pretty much like blueprints. Like that's how great this game was. It just has that like nostalgic kind of like feel to it, where you had to go back to like pen and paper notes and journaling and stuff to keep track, and it hit the nostalgic feel. Its puzzles were beautifully designed, absolutely beautifully designed. The game wasn't challenging to where it's like you don't want to buy into it, to where it's like, you just nope out right away. No, it had enough of that challenge, but it wasn't overwhelming. So I love that. I would say my number 2 was Dispatch. Dispatch, hands down, just absolute beautiful writing. The voice acting, I mean, Aaron Paul, everything that game has done, the story, the narrative, the art, sound, just all of it was just beautifully so well done. I didn't buy it on release. I'm not the type, like, I like to play everything all at once. So I waited till the episode's finished and then bought it, which was great because I could just play it leisurely and when I want to and that kind of thing. I don't got to wait till like the next season. I could just power through it if I really want to, or I could take my time with it. But yeah, absolutely solid. So Blueprints, Dispatch, and then the surprise hit also from Raw Fury, which also is similar in vein to Blueprints, was the Seance at Blake Manor. That was a solid game. If you're a big detective fan, and you're a big puzzler fan, and yeah, you want to, it's such a gorgeous just game in not art style, but also in like gameplay mechanics. And it really scratches that detective itch because you're trying to figure out what's going on. You have to manage your time. Every little thing you do, if you pick up a newspaper or if you read the time clock or you look at letters, or every little tiny thing takes a minute away. And you only have, I think, 72 hours to kind of, or it takes like an hour away, I should say. Or no, yeah, it's a minute. But then you sleep, and so you lose like certain amounts of times. So I'm not sure exactly how many times. It's not a full 72 hours, but you have 3 days to go through and find out what's actually happening at this. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, so I it's hard to talk about it without giving too much details. But it scratches that mystery detective itch. So I would say, yeah, my top 3: Blueprints, Dispatch, and the Seance at Blake Manor. I mean, E33 was great. I 100%, I 1000%ed it. I think it's a beautiful game. I would probably put it at number 4 for myself. But for top 3, yeah, E33 was probably hands down, or Blueprints hands down was probably my game of the year.
I'm looking forward to playing Dispatch when it comes out on Xbox eventually.
I will rebuy it again on Xbox. I would buy it on. I bought it on Steam. I'll buy it on every platform I can.
Shoot, I would have played it. I would have got it day one if they would have released it on my platform. But I don't. It probably works on my like. Do you think it would work on my basic laptop?
I think so. Yeah, I don't think it would be too much of a problem for it. Let me see if they actually have the thing real quick.
I just don't want to have extra games on Steam because I really don't use Steam.
I mean, you should start using Steam. It's going to be, I mean, if what we heard is true, I'm not going to go into the whole rumor mill or things like that. But I mean, we all know if rumors are true or what's to be believed, there's Steam's going to be a very important technical part of Xbox moving forward. Recommend or minimum is Windows 10. You have to have an i5 64020 CPU or a Ryzen 5 1600 or higher, 2 gigabytes of RAM, GeForce GTX 960 or Radeon RX 560, 15 gigs of space. So, I mean, it's very minimal.
So you don't know what any of that shit means.
Why are you asking about specs?
I didn't say anything about specs. I said, "Will my basic laptop run it?" That's a yes or no question.
I don't know what your basic laptop is. I mean, that's pretty basic now for like min spec, I would say. I mean, even below min spec, I would think. I mean, if anybody knows what a basic ass laptop is for Q, if you're in the chat, let him know if Dispatch would run it.
So I'm joking. I know a little bit. It sounds like my laptop will be able to run it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say it's well worth it. It's a gorgeous game. It really is. It's beautifully done.
I got turned off a little bit. Not really. I'm jokingly, but I got turned off a little bit because I was on Instagram and I seen somebody's post where they said that it's basically Twilight for boys, and I was like, I don't like that comparison.
It's wait, what did you say?
Just seen some Instagram thing where the chick said that it was like Twilight for men.
No. Okay. As a married man, I've definitely watched all the Twilights. They're not as bad as people say they are.
No. They're awful. And not only that, see, real quick, I know we're going on a tangent. I made the attempt.
Not great, but they're all right.
There we go. If you could highlight that message real quick, Gold. RQ says, I have a GTX 970. My potato PC can play the game. Yes.
All right, we rocking. I tried to read the book back in the day when I was dating one of my ex-girlfriends, and she was like super into the books. And I got me, and I'm a fairly, when I get into books, I'm a fairly avid reader. I zoom through books. It took me like 3 days to get through the first like 3 or 4 chapters, and I was just like, yeah, nah, babe, I can't do it. So it's not just the movies; the writing for those suck too. So Twilight sucks. Vampires don't shimmer.
Well, hey, I will. When something like that talks about that sort of vampire drama, if I had to choose, if I had to watch a vampire drama with my wife, it'd probably be the Originals, which is a spinoff of Vampire Diaries. That show is actually pretty good. It's set in New Orleans, which Game Pass Gumbo, we like that stuff at this podcast. So I would definitely probably watch that. But Twilight would probably be on the lower echelon.
Low echelon. I watched the Originals with my dad. I could do the Originals. I watched that with my dad.
That's a good show, man. What's the dude name's Klaus? He's badass. I like it, dude.
I would think of
but
Klaus from American Dad, from like me, us, and Rake, and everybody talking about it. It's Klaus
yeah.
from American Dad.
So, I guess it's my turn. That, like I said, had some family stuff going on. So a lot of 2025 is a blur. I know that sounds kind of hyperbolic, but kind of a blur. But the ones that come to mind right now is Final Fantasy 16 did drop last year, right? I'm not crazy, right? On
Yes,
Xbox.
it did.
Okay, cool.
They won it in June.
Gotcha. Final Fantasy 16 and Ninja Gaiden 4 were my two tops. Ninja Gaiden 4 was a blast. Platinum Games nailed it. I really liked the new character Yakumo. He was very interesting the way they tied that, and getting your ass whooped by Ryu Hayabusa was fun. And you're like, oh yeah, he's badass. And they may, when you fight him as a boss, they let you know that he's a badass because he whoops it. And then Final Fantasy 16, I know a lot of people give it grief. I jokingly call it Devil May Fantasy, but I thoroughly enjoyed that game. And I'd put it in my top 3, man. The story was awesome. The way you could use, I mean, I'm used to calling them summons and stuff like that from the Eidolons and stuff like that. But dudes flat out transforming into them, and you can fight with them like Ifrit. Some of those boss battles where you're with Ifrit and that music kicks in and you're like, oh man, this is just epic. So I bought the DLCs. I still need to go back and go through them. But once I finish up One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, because I'm using it as a way to cheat to get to the story, I'm gonna go back to Final Fantasy 16 DLC because that Rising Tide one looks pretty fun.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, real quick, my personal boycott against Square Enix ended a couple months ago because I pre-ordered Final Fantasy VII Remake for Xbox because it finally is about to release in 2 more weeks. So yeah, it'll be my second Final Fantasy game. Well, third technically. It'll be the third Final Fantasy game that I completed because I completed the free-to-play like side scroller like side game that they made for Final Fantasy 15. And then I finally went through last year and I beat all of Final Fantasy 15. And it was my first Final Fantasy that I beat. And if I had to give it a rating from 1 to 10, I'd give it like a 6. Because some of the things were great. And then some of the things were god awful. And hopefully I can give Final Fantasy VII Remake a higher score than that. Because I really, really wanted to like Final Fantasy 15. Like the combat was great. Any of the traversal through the world was dumb. Like, why are there fences in this giant gorge? Like, this makes no sense. What is this camera doing? Why is this story nonsensical? Like, there were a bunch of things where I was like, yo, I really enjoyed that, but there are also a bunch of things where I was like, this is god awful terrible. So a 6. For Final Fantasy 15, but I'm glad I finally got through it.
Just as long as you say 6 and not the letter that comes after it. I have 3 kids, and that's been annoying.
Yeah,
I get it. I get why they say it, man. It's 6, 7. It's about a 6, 7 out of 10. And I try to explain that to them, and they go, "No, it's just 6, 7." I go, "You don't even know what you're saying, what it means. Just say mid. It's quicker." But or
3 letters.
It's 3 letters, man. Gen Alpha, dude.
Honestly, I really liked 15 though. That's the thing. Like, I liked what they did with it. For me, it was like probably like a 7.5 or 8. I know I'm the minority on that. But I liked, the little dude bro caravan,
No, I very much enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. So I enjoyed the Dubro Caravan stuff. I enjoyed the combat in the game. It was just like, to me, the game hit the death by 1,000 cut situation where it was like, the things that I enjoyed were big things, but the things that I did not enjoy were little things, but it was so many more of the little things than it was of the big things that it made me be like, Bruh. And that
Dude, every time I see screenshots of Final Fantasy 16 and the boy band thing, I just think of the song that they played during Top Gun. It was Kenny Loggins' song, "Playing with the Boys." It's such a weird. Anyway,
like
so,
the fact that the fact that luckily I bought the DLC, but I could understand the people that like if they played it when it first came out, and there's just sections of the game where like very important things happen off screen and you have no idea why it happens, but then the DLC didn't come out until like a year later. It's like for spoilers, the game is like 10 years old at this point. For Ignis, like if you don't have the DLC, you're playing one level and you're with Ignis, and then like there's like a cutscene, and then the next thing you know, Ignis is blind. And you're just like, yo, why are we like walking him through the thing? And they don't explain what happens. He's just blind all of a sudden.
It's like
And
those
then, like,
videos. I don't know if you've ever seen them where it's like, this is why you don't skip cutscenes. And there's one where it's like Metal Gear Solid, and it's like it's just starting the cutscene of Snake and somebody else doing something, and then it like fades to black and it shows him like it's like a karaoke singing. I think they've spliced the video from another game. But yeah, it's pretty hilarious. It's like, yeah, Snake singing like really bad karaoke. It's like, this is why you don't skip cutscenes. Oh, nice. We got books in the chat.
I just have no idea
What's
what's going
up,
on in
bud?
that game. If it, like when I played it, I understood because I could just go to the DLC. But like for people that played it when it first came out, the DLC didn't come out until like 6 months to a year later. It's like, yo, what happened? And then the thing, and luckily I watched the movie first. But they do that thing where they show a cutscene and it's just like a trailer for the movie, but like it's a super big part of the plot of the game that they just kind of skip over.
all right. So I guess, do we want to move into looking forward?
Yeah, I'm done ragging
So
on Final Fantasy.
it's 2026, fellas. And so we're gonna go ahead, minus the things that we're gonna see at the direct or maybe see at the direct. Is there anything at the like summer showcase or anything that you all saw, or even the New Game Plus showcase, that caught your attention that you're really excited about for 2026?
So again, I'm a shout out again. I'm super excited to be playing Final Fantasy VII Remake on my Xbox. That's number one because that's probably the next thing coming up for me is that release and then me being able to play it. Geez, what is outside of what's on the direct? What is coming out this year? I would have to honestly. I should have did this research. I need to
I
look
got
back
a
at what
couple.
came out. There you go. I was about to say, I got to look up what's coming out. I am excited about this being the 25th anniversary for Xbox, which also means the 25th anniversary for Halo. And they haven't put it on the thing for the direct. But if we get that exciting year that it seems like we might be getting, where we're getting potentially Halo, Gears, Fable, Forza plus, I'm super ecstatic for this year. Also, Replaced actually might make
There you
it
go.
on coming out this year because I've been very much looking forward to playing that game. It's looked awesome from the very first time that they've shown it. I think some other games that I can just like off the top of my head that I can think of, if it comes out this year, they haven't given a release date, but Apillion, the game by Don't Nod, that it looks like the team that did Jusant is doing another climbing game, but in space.
Ooh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully that comes out this year because that looked really cool. I really very much enjoyed Jusant, and when I saw the trailer for Apillion, I was just like, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, by the way. Um, uh, I was like, oh, okay, this is Jusant, but in space. And I love sci-fi stuff, and I love Jusant. So they just like they threw two of my favorite things from them together. Um, what else? Mouse for Hire. If that
I think
comes
you
out
picked
and
that, right? For the
yeah,
fantasy league.
if that comes out and that hits this year, I'm looking forward to that. That looked really cool. That like whole like old school like Mickey Mouse animation vibe, but with violence. I'm down for that. um, if we see something else from I know whatever rumors are saying, but this is just me saying it to say it. If we see something else from Double Fine this year, because I know when they were, they took a while off after Psychonauts 2, but if you remember, prior to them working on Psychonauts 2, they were very much a like, yo, we have a project coming out each year type studio. So if we see something, another interesting thing from them this year, that'd be super cool, especially after Keeper. Keeper was fantastic. I really enjoyed my 5 little hours with that game because it was so beautiful, and the atmosphere and like the puzzles kept you engaged just enough for you to be like, yo, this is really cool. I you know what, Book? I just see that. Can somebody read that, because I can't see the thing? Oh wait, no, I can.
Which one?
Book
He's
just said,
spamming the chat.
Oh, Book just said. Well, he said GTA 7, 6. I don't care about GTA. Gears E-Day, yes. Blood of Dawn
Look, there's a
Walker,
thing called a comma, guy.
right? Like, yo, Blood of the Dawn Walker looked really cool, but I need to actually put my hands on it before I can say I like it or not. 007 looked plasticky to me. I'm not really. Wolverine, don't got a PlayStation. Resident Evil Requiem, haven't played
Love
Resident
you, Boog.
Evil.
You're a homie.
Control looked really good, but I don't know if I'm gonna play it right off the bat because I was kind of. Control wasn't my favorite Remedy game. Pragmata, I thought was really interesting when I first saw it, but as they showed more of it, and honestly, as it took longer and longer for the game to come out, been less excited about seeing it. Phantom Blade Zero is another game where I'm like, I don't have a PlayStation, and I never played the Onimusha games, so yeah, Bug. But that is a good list of games to be excited for. Just everything don't hit for me. But I've talked too much. Somebody else can go.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to. Boog's already got most of them. 007. I'm very, 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 very much looking forward to that. That's always been
commas.
Huh?
It's just comment over me.
Oh yeah, F your commas. I love Bugs.
I love it. No one personally, cool guy.
He is very, very cool.
He actually came over my house and watched the Xbox showcase last year with me.
Oh, nice.
He scared. He got jumped up when Final Fantasy 7 and 16 got announced. I was like, "Oh fuck yeah!" And he jumped, and so I apologize.
Fun fact, anyway, Justice Smith's twin brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, 007. I'm very much looking forward to that. I love IO Interactive. I grew up on the Hitman games. It especially what we saw last year when they did their deep dive, that just looks absolutely phenomenal. It just has that beautiful IO charm. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Requiem. I'm a big Resident Evil fan. Like the first game I ever bought with my own money was a PS1, and it was Resident Evil 1. That's the first thing like I actually spent my own money saving up for to buy a console was PS1, and then it was Resident Evil. That was the first game I ever bought. Absolutely loved it. Solid game. So I'm a big fan of that series. The next one, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited for Grand Theft Auto 6. I remember playing the PC version back in the day. You can't see it. There's a little bit of gray here in this beard. But yeah, back in the day was that overhead. It wasn't even isometric. It was straight out like overhead, first original GTA.
Oh, you played old school, the first one on PC.
Yeah, I played that one. And yeah, I absolutely loved it. So yeah, I'm excited for what seeing where the series has came from is absolutely amazing. But I don't know if it's going to come out this year. Double Fine, you mentioned it, but like I said, I'm keeping my mouth shut about that. Those that have seen me on Boom already know what I've said and what I know. But yeah, I'm gonna keep that quiet for this podcast. I don't want to ruin it for Q.
Oh well, I know what people are saying it's supposed to be. I don't know what you said. I didn't watch Boom's episode, but I know what people are saying what it's supposed to be. If it's that, that's cool. I
Okay.
just
All right. I didn't know if you saw that the way you spoke about it. I
yeah.
wasn't trying to ruin anything for
Oh
you.
no, well
But
I started that off by saying like if it people have been saying the rumors about what it is. If it's that, if it's let's not beat around the bush. If it's Kiln, that's cool. I would like to
okay.
see that being what they work on. But I'm just in general any game that comes out from them like I'm excited to play just because it's going to be interesting and it's going to be different. The Double Fine is one of those studios where it's like they have a style, but their style is that their games aren't all like anywhere near the same. Like
Yeah.
you
I mean,
can't
for
look at.
me, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say you can't look at Psychonauts and Brutal Legend and like Broken Age and one one of the ones that don't get talked about enough, but is kind of like a low key banger, Headlander or like Rad or all the other games that they come out. You can't look at those and be like, oh, they're all like, oh, they just do the same type of games. No, they do completely different games, but they all feel very Double Fine.
Yeah, they all have their own essence. I mean, this is just me, but I want them to do more point and clicks. They already did Full Throttle. They did Day of the Tentacle. Absolutely. I love they did Grim Fandango. I grew up on point and clicks. So
Broken
I
Age,
want
as
them
I
to do
said
even
before.
more. What was that?
I said Broken Age, like I said before.
Yeah,
I
Broken
think.
Age.
See, I didn't grow up on point and click games, so having some experience with them, that's been fine. And hey, if they do that, that'd be really cool. But that's not. I'm like, oh, I need you to guys to make point and click games.
Yeah. No, I mean, I absolutely love them. I really want them to see. Yeah, like I just those Lucas Art games. I think nobody's really taken advantage of. Um, and that's what I grew up on was the LucasArts and old school Sierra games. So that I saw like Double Fine was jumping into that realm. I was like, yes, please bring back Indiana Jones, Fate of Atlantis, The Last Crusade, Loom, I mean, well, they already did Monkey Island, Maniac Mansion, all those classics that I grew up on and stuff. But I mean, I'm just showing the actual gray in my beard. But yeah, Gold, what are you excited?
I got a couple here. Star Wars Galactic Racers, dude. I'm actually more excited about that one than I am Fate of the Old Republic because as a Nintendo, not a Nintendo fan, but one of my favorite racing games ever was the F-Zero series.
Mhm.
And this looks straight up like Star Wars meets F-Zero done by people that did Need for Speed. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 3 is one of my most nostalgic game. I still listen to the soundtrack when I drive. Some dude named Mellow Sonic remastered the entire soundtrack for Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit. Dope soundtrack. That was my PC days where we'd have 4 racing wheels, and then my mom and stepdad we'd all race and chase each other as cops, man. Just so that dev team getting behind and making a Star Wars F-Zero, dude, I'm pumped for that one. Another one, Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. I'm looking forward to that. I remember playing the original one on PS1, so I'd like to see what they did. So I definitely added that to my wish list.
I never actually played the original Tomb Raider games. I watched my dad play them. So
okay.
that was one that I forgot to like. I definitely am looking forward to seeing what they do with that. And I'm also looking forward to see how they kind of like. I'm assumption that they're gonna use that game and change some stuff around in order to like bring the remake trilogy in with the old trilogy and kind of like connect them a little bit. So I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing if they do that, how they wind up doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks quite impressive. I'm curious to see like what Amazon's going to do with it, and Yeah, looking forward to the TV show. I've been slowly chipping away at the Netflix animated series where Haley Atwell's playing Tomb Raider. I might actually catch up on an episode tonight.
Yeah, I still gotta watch
Great,
that.
great show. Yeah. And I have 2 daughters, man. I've been trying to get them to watch it with me. Like, hey, this is a female superhero, or not, sorry, not superhero, but female character that's really badass. Come watch it with me. They have no interest. They're just all about Stranger Things right now. But definitely Tomb Raider. We got this is one of my 2 most requested civilizations is finally coming to Age of Mythology Retold in Obsidian Mirror. We're getting the Aztec, man. I cannot wait. My second requested one would be the Celts because that's something they could explore, but we finally got off the main continents and we're in the Americas and we got the Aztecs. So I'm really curious to see what they did, see what they've done with it, because that was another thing I remember in last year was the Japanese campaign for Age of Mythology was immaculate, dude. It was one of the best campaigns I've ever played, and I wouldn't stack it up against the Fall of Prince Arthas in Warcraft 3 or even StarCraft 1 with Jim Raynor. I'd probably put it third. That was a really damn good campaign, man. And I'm excited to see what World's Edge and all their support studios would do. They need to bring the Blizzard RTSs to console, but that's another discussion. Speaking of Blizzard, these are my last 2 because the other ones are going to be showed at the direct, hopefully. We got the second expansion for Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred. They've already dropped the Crusader if you pre-order it, so you can play that. It's either Paladin or Crusader. I forgot what they named it. I'm going off the cuff here. But then we're getting a new class when that comes out. So 2 expansions, and then the second expansion with a second class. I still need to finish the Vessel of Hatred with my wife. We're still chipping away at that, but she did beat the base game with me co-op. So one step at a time to make my wife a fan of something Blizzard. And then lastly, Blizzard. This will be my last one, I promise.
I was actually Warcraft. Side topic. Have you played the new Paladin class yet?
I have not. I really haven't. When it comes closer and I better idea of funds and stuff like that, I'll probably do the pre-order so I can play it, but I haven't gotten into it yet.
Copy that. All right, I was just curious.
Then no, you're good. And then finally, World of Warcraft Midnight. Player housing looks a lot of fun. I'm curious to see how the story is going to go with Xal'atath. In fact, about 2 months ago or so, I did about 3-minute video on how to get World of Warcraft to work on your ROG Ally X. And it has climbed up to probably one of our best viewed videos on the channel. I'm sitting at almost like 6.2 thousand views. This comment section either asking me for help or telling me that it was short and sweet. Like it's made me feel good. People coming in going, this is the perfect video, blah, blah, blah. And I'm really excited to see. Oh, let me fix this. Sorry, technical issues here. We got this. Okay. Anyways, back to my point. The Warcraft video did real well, and I'm really pleased with it. It's short and sweet, and a lot of people have been showing their support and just saying, "Hey, thanks so much for helping me experience Warcraft." Because I'm gonna tell you this, man, Dragonflight was the one that I really got back into because I was able to install console port and all that good stuff, console bags, action cam, and I just made it a tailored console experience. I rarely had to use my mouse. Questing on a controller, I ran through Windwalker Monk, and now I unlocked the Kilturans, which are just humans that can be druids for non-Warcraft fans. And I've been doing a Guardian Tank Druid where I just turn into a bear and I just beat cheeks, dude. And it's playing Warcraft on a controller has changed the game for me. Yeah, changed the game for me. And I'm honestly happy to help anyone else experience Warcraft in new ways. So, but that's what I got.
Gold Shell beaten cheeks in 2026. Let's go.
Yeah. It's something my brother likes to say all the time, and I stole it from him.
I see Q is ready.
No.
Q was ready to say something.
I was ready to say something, but I decided against it.
Yep. Doug's right. It's not Gold Shell unless I mention Warcraft in some form or capacity. I just love Azeroth, dude. Get off my ass.
I was gonna say Gold Shell got 3 kids. He been beating cheeks for a while.
That's how they're made.
Nice. Very nice.
All right. So
off the rails.
Speaking, so real quick, I know we gotta get into the next thing, but before we get there, Gold Shell, I'm asking you, because we know that Midnight is coming out for World of Warcraft this year, and they'll probably talk about it since BlizzCon is going to be this year. You think are they just going to use that time to talk about what's coming up with Midnight, or you think they're going to also announce what the next thing is? Because this is the end of the 3 parts that they talked about before, right? Was that 3 years ago already that they talked about the 3 parts coming out for
World
Warcraft?
Soul Saga? Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think they're going to introduce what's next after that, or you think they'll wait till next year after and let Midnight run its course for this year?
I honestly think, and you and I did a podcast about this months ago, and it's actually doing pretty well for one of our 30-minute videos. I think they're going to do a little bit of Warcraft stuff at BlizzCon, but I think a lot of it's going to be focused on StarCraft. I think Midnight's going to be kind of fresh. I mean, they could tease like, hey, Last Titan's coming, but I don't know. I think StarCraft's going to be more of a focus if it does show up. And according to Jez's article and what you and I discussed with a couple months ago with Blizzard choosing Nexon, I don't know. I honestly don't know what we're going to be seeing at BlizzCon, to be frankly honest with you.
And you know what? I don't know is a reasonable answer.
Yeah, because
making things up.
Because you think about it like this, you've got BlizzCon 2026, you're going to have Midnight drop March 1st, and then you've got Lord of Hatred dropping. So you've already got 2 games that you're hyping up that's already released before you get to BlizzCon. So, I mean, unless they've got some stuff up their sleeves about Overwatch PvE, which they're talking about bringing back. I think Aaron Keller, right? Who
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about they've got some ramp ups of, dude, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to show at BlizzCon. I'm hoping it's StarCraft. I'm hoping it's a lot of things, but I don't know. And another thing to be said too is with this is going to be I say we just get this one right out of we'll just go ahead and rip this Band-Aid off before let me get back to this. Does this kind of so I'm going to play this. So yeah, now Satya Nadella got all but hurt. Now I want to clarify this because I'm probably going to go to the FanFest, so I'm not trying to ruffle a whole lot of feathers.
He doesn't go, so you'll be fine.
Yeah, but not actually. No, I'm not. I'm going to ruffle feathers because his comments were absolutely tone deaf, and I'll put a link in the description. But there's a certain amount of states that I am in where state governments have passed bills for these AI data centers to come in. Now they're putting nuclear power and stuff like that to fund it, and that's great. That's a great long-term solution. But guess
right
who
now?
they're passing? Yeah, it's not a right now thing, but guess who they're passing those so basically they're subsidizing these AI data centers to come into these states. I'll have the link, I promise. And guess who they're going to pass off those subsidies to? Other customers. And this year, my electric bill has nearly tripled because of it. So at this point, I understand his comments were tone deaf for
Yeah,
one.
don't talk about how great AI is when it's not doing anything for me other than raising my bills.
Exactly. And he was talking it like he was his child. Dude, it's as they say in the Clone Wars, it's just a clanker. So let's calm down, dude. And now I'm getting directly affected. And wouldn't you know it, if my electric bill's 3 times more, how you expect me to pay for Game Pass consistently? You know what I mean? So, and the reason I get into this, and I wanted to segue into this, is, I like Phil, I like his direction, I like Sarah Bond, but at the end of the day, there is a top dog that has other priorities, and Microsoft's priorities are just AI, 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 AI. Dude, stop. You're in third place anyways. Why don't you redirect? Because ChatGPT is number one. And I don't want to get a whole tirade about AI because it's kind of been beaten to death. Everyone understands the implications of it. And I had my issues with it. So now that it's affecting me and my lifestyle and how I conduct stuff, I'm a little annoyed. So I say that to say this. They should probably get World of Warcraft on the Xbox, because if these AI chips, this chip shortage and the rising costs, I mean, look at the leak thing about the Steam Deck or the Steam Machine or whatever they're calling it. The 512 model is almost $900.
No, so when I saw the 512 model was $950, and the 2 model was like 1,070, which kind of doesn't make sense for the price gap for how much memory is there. Like it's like a $120 price gap, but
yeah,
an extra gig and a half, that doesn't compute.
Rude, says Blood Raven. What's up, buddy? So StarCraft at BlizzCon, yeah, I think we see it. I don't think we see anything substantial, but I think we just get a logo and it says, hey, it's coming, we're listening. But so with the Steam Machine going to be that price, God only knows what the Xbox version of that one's going to be. Does Microsoft delay? I've seen Desden talk about it, that they should delay it. And I would not hate that, because now I feel like I'll get more life out of my Series X. And honestly, the only thing I'm not playing on my Series X is Warcraft. And if they bring that over, I really think they should, because I think we're going to maybe see a 1-2 year delay. I don't really have any like expertise or insight or anything like that. That's just a gut feeling of mine. So much like with Sony putting stuff on Xbox, I would just go ahead and put stuff on Xbox now, because we don't know when this hybrid PC console's even coming. You know what I mean? They could have delayed Magnus. So I would say that's what Blizzard should do, is go ahead and bring it on console, get more people on, bring it on PlayStation. Yeah, I said it because we're over the whole exclusivity thing. We know what's coming down the line and nobody cares anymore except the hyper fanboys. But that's what I think. But I'm done with my tirade. I apologize. I've just been feeling the pinch lately, and his comments rub me the wrong way. So we'll switch to a more positive side, unless you guys have anything else to add to the AI stuff.
Nothing to apologize, bro. Like, I'm in Jersey, we're feeling this thing too. Like our energy bills have like doubled, damn near tripled themselves. So it's understandable to be frustrated that you're not seeing a personal benefit of these data centers and the use of AI, other than like some half working co-pilot questions that you can ask, or Grok, or Gemini, or whatever, all these different ones that you can use, but they're not. Is that worth your bill tripling?
Don't get me started on Grok,
Absolutely not.
man. This is it's just they're talking about they're talking about banning Twitter in the UK now because of
Bro,
that.
hey, you know
What
what?
Grok's doing.
So
So,
my problem still, it will always be this: if you're setting up your AI, and then your AI is giving answers, and you keep fiddling with it, and I'll use fiddling as the, but if you keep messing with your AI because it's not giving the answers that you want to give, even though it's giving appropriate answers in some way, shape, or form. And then remember where it began. I'm sorry, tangent. Remember where Grok began, where it was like it was giving answers and the answers were too woke because they were based off of facts and like the information that it scoured from the internet. And they're like, no, we need to fix that. And then they went from the answers being too woke to being like straight up Nazi answers. And, and then like it's just been up and down from there, because every single time it gives an answer that's not to the likes of what he wants it to be, or with the people that he wants that like follow him don't want it to be, then we got to fix it, we got to change it because this isn't the answer we want to give it. I don't trust your AI then, because if you have to keep filling and tweaking and messing with how the AI works when it's working fine, you just don't like the answer that it's giving, then like why would I trust what your AI, the answers that your AI gives people in the future after you've tweaked it to the point where it's to your liking?
yep, it's manipulative. Now, there is one thing. I'll say this real quick, and then I definitely want to see Cork's opinions on it. Uh,
Mhm.
there is one interesting thing that Microsoft did invest in before they went full AI, and that was their cloud servers. And with rising hardware costs, they might be at a somewhat of advantage with their cloud gaming. Them and NVIDIA GeForce. So now with the technology and latencies going down, you could see a boom in cloud gaming now, just
Mhm.
on the sense that, so Microsoft bad, Microsoft good. So it's kind of one of those double-edged swords with them. And of course, I'm I'm pleased with the option of cloud gaming, and honestly, the Play Anywhere stuff has actually been very impressive, and I really enjoy that as a very consumer friendly. So just because I had issues with the AI doesn't mean I'm completely dunking on uh, Xbox per se. Microsoft itself really needs to quit being so corporate, but I know at the end of the day, that's how you make money. But yeah, the Play Anywhere and the cloud gaming seem like two very pro consumer options. The first one being considered hardware cost and how expensive it'll be. But anyway, Cork, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, so okay, get the virtual tomatoes ready. Um, I'm for AI, and I think AI is something that's very powerful. It's something that it's very multifaceted. I think what it can do and what it's doing currently is great. So I get why Nadella feels upset about terms like AI slop, because I don't think it fully represents what AI can do or what it's currently doing. But this is also a problem that is created by companies that are using AI in a very sloppy manner. So I get why AI slop exists, and I don't blame people for using the term, because I feel and I feel companies are using AI in a certain way that's not very conducive, and it doesn't benefit the consumer as much as, like you said, your energy bills are tripling. There's things that AI isn't doing right now at a level that is very consumer friendly, but everything's being passed on to the consumer, and that's
Mhm.
unfair. That's not right. That you shouldn't, if you're going to use AI on the back end, consumers shouldn't feel the burn and the effect on the front end of that. You shouldn't be passing that on to the consumer. Um, so I get why he doesn't like the term, but it's also something that you're creating at the same time. And that's my frustration with AI is that there's certain things at my job I wish I could use AI for that would just expedite the process significantly, rather than waste a ton of time, that I could be focusing on other things to get my job done rather than feeling overburdened and rushed and things like that when when I could just reduce it 3 times as much. So yeah, I am for AI, but I also don't believe that companies should be passing that on to the consumer when they're not seeing the benefit of AI yet. Because like I said, go ahead, Q.
I was just going to say to that. I just wanted to make it clear. Like I'm not like against AI. I think AI has appropriate uses, and it
Mhm.
definitely is something that is can make work easier for people and make processes faster for people. I think
If it
like
empowers and not replaces,
yeah,
right?
exactly. It empowers
Yeah.
and not replaces. This is a
Yeah.
good thing to say, and it's just like for people that don't like for people that like the average person that's not working in like a tech job or industry that uses AI very much. Like Goldshell was saying, it is okay. What experience do you have with AI? And it's like, oh, I can use Copilot, I can use Gemini, I can use Grok. But then, like, what other experience do you have with AI? Is like, oh, they're building data centers near my home, and it's made my energy bill go up. Oh, like
Yeah.
we're looking at videos of stuff, and people are making like deep
Oh, and
fake
it actually
stuff
has a bunch of
of.
noise pollution too. There's
Oh,
a
I didn't
data
know that.
center that, yeah, my wife's aunt uh lives near one, and apparently there's just this constant humming that they
Oh
can hear
God.
for,
Oh God.
yeah,
Or
And
like,
that's
yeah.
yeah. And that's
or
part of
like
what I
people
was
on the
saying is
internet
like
making. I was gonna say
if you're
people
going
on
to
the
use
internet
AI
making
on the
deep
back
fakes.
end, don't have consumers feel it on the front end. It's not their responsibility. It's not their it's they shouldn't have to feel the burden of your company using AI. And that's my biggest problem with it, especially with when you get terms like AI slop. There's people that are creating stuff that is it's just
Slop.
nonsense. It's a waste of resources. I get it. You're using it to like make funny like cat videos and shit like that, but like that's kind of AI slop in the sense of what it's being used for when you can use it to increase medical advances or how teachers are able to teach children in the classroom, or how first responders are able to assess a situation faster, quicker, so like I said, I get why he's frustrated by it, but you're
I
also
also get why
putting
people are like, yo, this is AI slop.
yeah, but yeah, and then I get so why I guess why he's frustrated, but then again, you don't give the consumer safeguards. You're not putting anything out there to stop them from using it in a very haphazard and horrible manner. So you are creating AI slop in that same sense. So you
Exactly.
can't be upset at something that you're giving the consumer, and of course, the consumer is using it in a way you never intended for, but then you also don't have restrictions to stop them from
From
using it
using
in
it.
that same fashion. So that's
Exactly.
my biggest problem with AI. I'm 100% for AI, but I think it needs to be very heavily reined in, and it needs to have a specific purpose that isn't for or that that benefits consumers, but they don't feel that cost because it's not their responsibility. It's not the consumer's responsibility to pay for your AI. You're doing it to benefit your company. You're doing it to streamline your company. That's not a consumer problem. That's a you problem. And that's my problem with it is I think corporations are using AI, and this is why I feel the bubble's going to burst soon, is because I feel companies are passing this on to the consumer when they're not really seeing the benefit of it.
Yep.
I,
And
I do have I do have one thing as far as the AI, and as far as the AI goes, I want to go on the art aspect. I have issues. I'm an artist. I like to draw stuff, more comic book, cartoonist stuff like that. So when I see stuff like that, it's easy to recognize. But I will say there's one benefit that I'm seeing, and it's more of an indirect benefit. I do know artists are losing their jobs and having stuff like that, like there's whole ads that are done in AI, which could have, you know, helped artists that are making a living. But, you know, stuff like this, you know, I just drew Banjo Kazooie. It's cool. I like it. It's kind of jank. But now with AI and I think people are going to appreciate the jank from like an actual artist perspective. If that makes sense. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
There's a human aspect you can't replicate with AI.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes sense. Like, I mean, look at E33, look at Sandfall. You know, they got kicked out of the, you know, I'm going to go on a little tangent as well. You guys had your 2 tangents. This is my tangent. Look at Sandfall and how they got unfairly mistreated by the Indie Game Awards, especially when somebody's making a video and you got an AI filter on your face to reduce your goddamn wrinkles. Like, how are you going to judge another effing company on their use of AI when you're using the goddamn filter on your face? It's mind-blowing, like the disassociation. But even still, Sandfall didn't do it to replace somebody. They didn't do it to stop to take away a job from somebody. When you're doing level design, there's multifaceted points where you have to look and see, and sometimes this is what, okay, so a little bit on how the sausage is made. Usually what temporary like art assets is like a giant ass pink blob. So if you're trying to design a level, when you have that level of artistic style in E33, the last thing you want is a giant ass pink blob center stage of your level, ruining that whole aesthetic, ruining that whole vision. Some can get past it, some can't. So what you do, I mean, so you have 3 options. A, you either
You're talking about AI brainstorming, and I do see the benefits in that. So continue. Sorry.
So yeah, either A, you hire somebody, which takes away from your budget, and they're going to create an art asset for that, which is going to take time away from what they could be creating. Mm-hmm. And then 3, you're going to junk that asset at the very end, making it absolutely worthless.
And just time consuming.
Just to get the vision. Or B, you could just use AI to make something concept wise just for visual aesthetics. And then you get somebody, hey, this is what I like. This is what I want. Something similar, put your spin on it, make something, create something that will fit this vision we have, and we'll use it in our game. And then you're paying somebody to create that. And then you actually have a permanent asset that you can use that somebody was actually paid for to create. And that's my biggest frustration is E33 got reprimanded for not, I mean, for not having a AAA budget. But then, so why are you honoring them in the Indie Game Awards? You're punishing them for developing a game with indie money, but you're punishing them because they didn't use AAA money. Like that it just doesn't make sense to me. So that was my biggest frustration is AI is great when it comes and it's used in certain aspects, like Q said, where it's not replacing. It's just it's helping and it's benefiting and it's creating something that somebody else can be like, you know what? I maybe now saw that. Maybe I can create it, because in the job world, you're not going to be able to sit there and find the perfect piece. That just doesn't work 99% of the time, especially when you're doing an art asset or you have a certain vision. Unless you're drawing it yourself, you're not going to find somebody that's going to fit that mold perfectly. But if you can give somebody an idea and you can say, hey, work off of that, and then you can mold it and shape it, I'd rather have an indie developer do that than just straight out be like, we're going to use AI to just replace everything. And I get it. Times are hard. Budgets being $300-400 million plus, you know, it makes, but that's AAA games. For indie games, it's even harder because, you know, you're looking at $10 million, $11 million that, you know, maybe you don't have that, you know, you have a dev team of 12 people. It stacks up after a while. And so you have to think outside the box. And the only way you're going to be able to think outside the box and working with the confines of a budget as an indie game studio is to use AI nowadays, because you can't go out there and say, I'm going to pay you $50,000 as a concept artist when you can barely keep the lights on. And this is your main title. And some people will be like, oh, well, maybe they shouldn't create games if they can't afford it. Art is art, and some people have passion. There's things that maybe you have a passion for, that and it's like, maybe you shouldn't do that. How would you feel if somebody's like, well, maybe Gold Shell, maybe you shouldn't be fucking drawing Banjo and Kazooie if you can't get the jank out of it. It's like, see how stupid that sounds? Like, it's the same exact point.
Jank's my style, though.
There you go. Jank it up. But that's what, and that's what I kind of feel like people are negatively against AI because of how other people use it in a bad fashion. And I get it, but that's not AI in general. Does that make sense?
It's not AI's fault.
They're going to run with it and be like, oh, he's in favor for AI. I don't care, but I'm not in favor for AI to replace. I'm in favor for AI to create and help people think outside the box and to create bigger, better things.
Yeah. So what would we? So we'll go ahead and wrap this up and then go to the exciting stuff, because I think we got a good discussion going on AI. So what would you say if you were to do a 60-40 in favor of, not in favor of? Q, what's your
I'm sorry, I was playing a game for a second.
Busted. I was refreshing the thing.
In favor of, not in favor of AI.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I hate AI. So for those that don't know, FarQ is an AI master. He makes some of the really greatest, funniest pictures on Web Dave that I've seen. Yeah, things like that. Like somebody like FarQ that can create really funny things in a jokingly manner, and it becomes a style, and I love that. Like FarQ is probably one of the best.
So I 60-40, I honestly I give it 70-30. I like AI. I don't have a problem with AI. I don't use it enough to be like I like it. But I don't have a problem with its existence. My problem, like Cork says, comes with how people use it, and like there not being any safeguards or restraints in how it progresses. Like, yo, I'm a big sci-fi nerd. So you tell me you don't have any safeguards on AI, and the first thing that comes to my head is Terminator, right? I'm thinking Skynet, right? I'm thinking every dumb like B budget sci-fi movie that you watch where it's like, oh, the AI took over, or the AI is going to take over, and then obviously that's, what, we can't even, we're at this point in society where we can't even say that that's far and away. I'll just say that, like, I don't have a problem with AI. I think there needs to be more safeguarding. I think people need to be more responsible with its use. And I'll give a perfect example of like a use of it that frustrated the heck out of me. Just, not to get super into politics, but remember a couple months ago when we were facing with when we were first facing with the government shutdown, and then we were facing with like people that were on social benefits, like you losing their benefits like SNAP and housing assistance and all that stuff. And you go on to things like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, and you see people making these AI videos of like Black women talk about stuff. I'm a single Black mom with 7 kids, and I don't work because I don't need to, because I'm on welfare, and they're taking my welfare away. And it's like, is this really what, like, again, with Gold Shell talking about prices, like, energy prices going up? It's like, yo, do we really, is it really worth the energy, the the security of information, like people that can't tell the difference between AI and real people, seeing stuff like that on TV, and then TV, seeing stuff like that on social media and taking that as fact, because it was a ton of them. And it's like, yo, this is like obviously I saw the videos and was like, yo, okay, this is fake, this is AI, but everybody's not going to see stuff like that and be like, this is fake, this is AI. And we are increasingly moving towards a time where we're going to have a big issue with deepfakes. Because then when is it going to be, if we're not safe, if there's no safeguard, if there's no like watermark to be like, oh, this is AI, when we finally do, we'll get to a point where, okay, you can't tell the difference between this AI video and an actual real video. And then where are we then? if we don't have the safeguards, if we don't have
Yeah.
the thing, and then with people using it and people using all the data that it takes to make these AI videos, you're you're paying basically for people to be extra super racist online because you're going to be paying the energy bill for people to put stupid deep fake videos on the internet using AI. And it's like it's frustrating things like that. Again, it's the way that people use it. It's frustrating things like that when you're watching it and you're like, yo, like we can
I love my
AI
energy
for
bill
so
going up
much
for
better
dudes to
things.
want to put a bikini on some chick on Twitter. I love it. I
Or
love paying for it.
Or cats walking upright and having boxing matches. Like, yo, what is?
I was gonna say, wait, you guys are going a little too far, okay? I mean, bikinis on chicks and
no, these are like
cat videos. Let's go. I'm just joking.
These are real like things that I've seen that people use AI for. That it's just like, all right, this isn't worth my energy bill going up. This isn't worth is
it worth the environmental impact or slashing jobs? I mean, I respect Cork's opinion, but I do disagree with a lot of it. I do agree with the AI brainstorming, and I do see potential for accessibility increases. So, but some of the other stuff, like Q was talking about with the deep fakes, not knowing stuff is real, you know, there's put a deep fake like a couple years ago when the technology was in its infancy, you know, people did deep fakes of George Lucas and Harrison Ford smoking weed on YouTube, and it was hilarious. But now with the technology, you don't know if you knew because of its jank and its technology that it was fake, and you can see past it and see it as comedy. Now, but I'm going to give it 80-20, 80 against 20 in favor. Go ahead, Cork. We'll go ahead and wrap that up and go to something more positive.
So I would probably go in the opposite, 84 and 84 and then 20 against. There's things that I think people aren't really using AI for that it really could, especially when it comes to like the medical field, you know, how
accessibility.
Things like that for accessibility, things like, think of an EMT that's hitting a scene, especially as a new EMT, that might not know everything that they should. They get to a scene and they have their, tablet, and they could just say triage a bleeding out patient, and then instantly bam, 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 bam. This is what you got to do, where you have something where you don't have to rely on that muscle memory that you might not have developed yet as a veteran EMT. This would help with expedite that process. And now you could start saving lives. Or you could look at AI where, as something like for teaching, where, I have a child that might have ADHD. What are some things that I can do as a teacher? You ask the AI to help visually stimulate or try and get through that process of dealing with a child with ADHD. Things like that. I think there's a definitely big benefit for this. But instead, like Q said, we're putting bikinis on dudes and fucking cats, playing guitars. It's just
bikinis on women that are just dressed normally, just to be perverted.
Okay. I mean, you can also put bikinis on dudes if that's your thing. I might have looked at.
Q's if that's your thing, sure.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, but and that's why I go back to my previous thing of AI slop is like that's what you're doing. You're not putting these safeguards. You're not putting these restrictions in to stop people from doing that kind of stuff. But you could be doing it is to open it up to where, you can have somebody in the medical field run up to somebody that has a gunshot wound, gunshot wound, and then boom, it just tells you everything. You got to triage, you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this, rather than them having to stop right there and think of their training, and then they might not have that muscle memory. This helps build that. So that's my thing. So I am all for AI. I think people will think it's going to replace, but I don't think people. I think people automatically doom it versus trying to see how it would actually be applied.
Sorry, I was talking to my daughter. She was.
No, you're good. You're good. I mean, I could keep talking and just wasting everybody's time. I'm good at that.
he'll keep expounding upon the greatness of AI.
Yes.
AI
Maybe-
for the
I will say
children.
this though, Cork, and then we'll move over. Wait a minute.
Maybe I'm
My
using an AI
computer
filter and I'm
needs to
actually Nadella, behind this.
Don't call
No.
it slop.
I see why. And it's a problem that the companies create themselves, and that's the problem. So it's hypocritical for him to be like, get upset over terms like AI slop when you do nothing to stop the AI slop. It's your own creation.
Thank you. That's what I wanted you to say.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about this is what rubbed me the wrong way. He was talking about how it's other people's job to do it. And I'm paraphrasing. No, asshole, it's your job. You're the one giving it out to the consumer. And then when you have shit like what's going on to get what's going on that's having the UK possibly ban it, well, guess what? Now those other organizations are now doing something about it, which is going to block your platforms. And if you stood up and did the regulations yourself, you wouldn't be in the hot water you're in now. So sorry.
Factuals. Nope, you're
Well,
right.
We went off on a
I think
crazy
we've
ass
kind of
rant
just
on
beat
that.
this.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Sorry. I'm a little amped up. Anyway.
No, that's cool. If
and-
Nadella's ever see this, he's gonna be throwing air punches and karate kicks into his Cortana waifu pellet.
Hey, you know what?
He's
Forget
not gonna be
Game
happy at
Pass
this
Gumbo.
conversation.
We need to be an AI podcast.
No, we will not be, because I know how to draw.
That's great.
Here's the thing.
Yeah,
Now,
Gold Show
I do
has
want
the
to touch
jank.
about.
We'll never be. He has the jank, as he said.
I will say this though, like
Yes,
with
Jake.
Court going on to do his own thing and Q and I kind of doing our own thing, this is kind of a creative outlet for me. This is where I can do, I have a degree in media studies and telecommunications. I used to be IT, but I have a minor in digital media design and stuff like that. And, I use Photopea, Clipchamp, which is a Microsoft product I pay for. So I'm still giving you money. Don't worry. But this is a creative outlet for me. I have took a lot of classes in radio and stuff like that. So, I like to do things myself. It's my creative outlet. It's a hobby. If we grow the channel if the channel doesn't grow when you leave, it is what it is. But, I like to build a community and just have a bunch of people come in. But I like to use that as a way to, express my art, show my artistic expression. And no, I will be doing it all myself. There will be no AI. Sorry.
There you go.
And Barq, hey, and I don't mean any slight to you, buddy. That is not where I'm coming on. You do you. You're helping people. You're making people laugh and stuff like that. I'm just talking about the more. These comments are not aimed at you.
No,
So
I don't
just
think
wanna-
he takes it like that.
I just want to
Actually,
clarify that.
He knows he does it in fun.
Yeah.
And that's he's the type of person I'm
Sorry,
talking
my
about.
electric bill tripled, so
It's
I've
Farq's
been-
fault in the UK that your electric bills tripled. That's
Yeah, it's not his fault in the UK. He's just ruining people near data centers in those areas.
Yeah, he does it to inspire and create discussion, and that's
kidding.
what I love about it. He uses
Yeah.
AI in the correct ways, or at least I wouldn't say correct because it's subjective in that sense. He uses AI in a way that will have fun and create this discussion. He's not using it to benefit. He's not using it to profiteer. He's not using it in a way that's going to replace anything. It's all in fun. It's all in love. It's all in joking manners.
Or gross.
Yeah.
He's not using it for gross. So
I mean, he was talking to. No, I was gonna say
No.
the bikinis, the UK Prime Minister in bikinis, but that would be hilarious. I would fucking laugh my ass off. But yeah,
right,
no,
I think we've
he knows what
beaten
I don't think he's
Skynet
taking
to
any offense
death.
to it.
So I think we've given Skynet our opinions. So let's do it. We're back, baby.
Nice.
Floor's y'all's. What are we excited for, and what do we think this mystery game is? I'm hoping Spyro 4.
Yeah, if you want to take it off, Gold. Yeah, you haven't started the convo. If you want to start it, let us know.
I have to admit, I've only played the first Fable, so I'm excited for it, but I don't have the nostalgia goggles that a lot of the Xbox fan base does. I'm going to see how it works. See how you and I talked about Fable last night when we were playing Streets of Rage. So I'll let you kind of talk about that because you have more experience in that. The one I'm really excited for is Forza Horizon 6. And as someone, like I said in the last podcast, I lived in Japan, and I'm really hoping that it's Yokohama that we're racing in, because I used to walk around there, get the Chew Highs, go to the Yakatoris, all that stuff, man. And with it being a current gen only Forza Horizon game, being able to go into Yokohama with all the neon lights, this is where this is where the ray tracing is actually to come in and show off what it can do. So to see some of those neon lights and just sort of the atmosphere, you basically be racing in the world of Ghostwire Tokyo, and I am down for it. And I really hope that we could go around. I'm sure we'll be able to get close to Mount Fuji. Your old boy climbed it back in, when did I climb that? 2012. So it's probably going to be a while before I'll be able to visit it again, but I'll visit in a video game. And then the last thing is Beast of Carnation, and they want to be the very best. Beast of Reincarnation. They want to be the very best.
Is a beast of milk,
the best they ever was. I forgot the Pokemon song. I was trying to sing it off the cuff. So we're going to see how this game turns out, because if it turns out immaculate and with no bugs, I think it's starting to us to blame Nintendo for the Pokemon jank and not Game Freak. So we'll see how it goes. At first glance, I thought it was a Souls-like, and I don't do Souls-like. Sorry, I don't drink the Kool-Aid on that. I don't care.
You're not an Elden Lord?
No, Maidenless or whatever the fuck. I don't care. I don't need to beat Dark Souls to prove I'm a man. I can do that. Ask my wife. I can do that just fine without Dark Souls. Anyways, but then I read something that Beast of Reincarnation is sort of it's a post-apocalyptic Japan where you play as a female character that can control nature. And they said that it actually mirrors more Nier Automata. As soon as I read Nier Automata, I perked up, man. So Forza Horizon 6 is my number one, but I am really curious to see what Beast of Reincarnation turns out to be, because if it's anything like Nier, I'm here for it. Also, I played Pokemon games, so I am somewhat of a Game Freak fan, and a very, very mild one, but I do have a little bit of Pokemon nostalgia. I like Digimon way better, but I did fall under that Pokemon Go 2016 where everyone was catching Pokemon. I got sucked into that shit. So, but yeah, floor is y'all.
Go, should I take it?
Yeah, I could go for a bit. Yeah, for Fable. I'm absolutely excited for it. For those that watch on Breakfast with Boom on Friday, yesterday, I talked about Fable. I'm insanely excited for it. I grew up on Fable. I absolutely love everything that it does. It takes the RPG. There's no other game that's came out that's been like, oh, it's like Fable. Nobody's been able to capture that essence, and I really hope that's what they've been doing these last few years, is recapturing that RPG essence that only Fable can bring. It's part property management. You have the level of paragons and negativity and positivity, where depending on your moral compass will dictate if you get horns or red eyes, or if you kind of have like a halo and more angelic glow to you, that kind of thing. No one's really ever taken Fable and what it's done and tried to recreate it because of how great it was. And that's what I'm hoping they capture that essence of what Fable actually is, and with its dynamic the dynamic gameplay and how the world interacts with you versus how you interact with the world. That's what I'm looking for. Like I said on Booms, is you could go around in the first like 5 minutes of the game and start kicking chickens, and the villagers are like, "Oh, it's the kicking chicka," It's like they start making
Chicken chicka.
yeah, they start making fun of you, and like they're like, "Oh, well, these kicking chickens," and that's like my, I guess, Abney. I don't know. I probably just horribly
Just say
offended.
bruv at the end. That's what Q and
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I probably just horribly offended FarQ. Like that's they start making fun of you for going around kicking chickens. Like the game interacts with you, at the same time as much as you're interacting with the game. And that's what I love about Fable, and that's what Fable was. And I don't think any RPG has really captured that balance. I feel like a lot of them more focus on how you interact with the world more than how the world will come back and interact with you. He said his ears are bleeding. Thanks. I'm sorry. Yeah, so like that's what I'm looking forward to in Fable. I think Playground Games definitely can capture that. I just I really hope they nail it, and that's just me though, because that's the nostalgic part, and I know I'm possibly setting myself up for disappointment because my expectations are so high on that nostalgic level. I mean, if they try and reinvent and do something cool and take it to a more modern level, I don't blame them for that. I don't want to fully set expectations that might not be there. And then I ruin the game for myself. But I really do hope that they capture the essence of what Fable actually is, and that's what it was to me. Forza, excited. I was just in Japan last year, roughly around this same time. Absolutely beautiful. I think what they're going to do is they're going to do a like not a 1-for-1 of one area, but they'll do like a 1-for-5, where they have certain areas.
Like they didn't know at Edinburgh for Forza Horizon 4. Yeah.
Yeah, to where, rather than traveling 500 miles, you only have to travel 1 or 2. And now guess what? You're in this part of Japan. I think they'll have hubs, and I'm excited for that. I already said, I think March, April, May, sometime around there. If I had to guess, April. Depending on where they were at with the development, I would say March, just to catch that early cherry blossom season and to go into the cherry blossom season. It's a big time for Japan, big time for tourism. I think a lot of, what was that?
Golden Week.
Yeah, Golden Week.
The entire Japan just shuts down for a week, and then they do a bunch of festivals. They have a bunch of koi fish. I was there for 3 years, so every Golden Week was awesome. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I would love to see that in game, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think that's how they'll start it in early March, maybe late March into April. So I'm excited to see Japan. Japan's not a real place. It's so just absolutely beautiful.
It's AI generated, like that Iceland commercial. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's just so beautiful. Like when you're in Japan, you just can't believe, like, especially with the culture, and everything, and how people interact with the cities, and it's very cool place that's so surreal, especially if you've been locked to just one like nation or one place. You go to a place like Japan, and it's very eye-opening. So Japan's awesome. I absolutely love it. And then Beast of Reincarnation. I'm really looking forward to that. It looks awesome. I will say this: if Xbox is putting in a direct, they believe in it. So they think they see something very special. They've seen
they put Visions of Mana in it, and it became one of my favorite games of all time. So yeah, I agree with you there.
They see something very special with this title. If they're going to dedicate a very, niche kind of, not niche, but a very specialized look at a game, especially when they have so many on the docket right now that they could put in there, Clockwork Orange. They could have put
Revolution.
that. Huh?
Clockwork Revolution. You said Clockwork Orange.
Oh, sorry, Clockwork Orange. Oh, sorry, I was still in the UK phase. Clockwork Revolution. Clockwork Revolution. They could put something like that. They could have put that in there, but they put Beast of Reincarnation. That just shows you the kind of faith of what they've seen with the title and what they could do with that, and what they believe in it. Maybe it could just be because they met their milestones and it's a better position to showcase versus Clockwork Revolution. But I do think that they have a ton of other titles they could have put there instead, but they put that from Game Freak. So I'm excited. It looked amazing from what we saw during the showcase. Very crisp, very clean. But who knows? Maybe it might just be because that's just the trailer and they're trying to hype it up. Especially once you get to optimization, things lower a little bit, which people don't realize. That's how you get things like Puddlegate with Spider-Man 2, where it's like, oh, you can't see the reflections. And it's like, yeah, because they showed you a version before it was optimized to actually run on consoles. It's running on PCs with dual 5090s, that kind of thing. So yeah, I really can't wait to see it. I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the color palette of it. I love the style of it, of what it shows. So we'll see what they have. And then the fourth, people already know, we've talked about it. I think it's Kiln. What I've heard is it is Kiln. Jez Corden's kind of hinted to it. There's been other people that have hinted to it. What I've heard is Kiln. But again, it starts off one little rumor, then one person says something else, and then another person. It's a little game of telephone, and then you have Purple Monkey Dishwasher at the end. For those that that's a Simpsons reference for those that haven't watched Simpsons in 20 years. But yeah, that's what I think it is, but we'll see. We'll see what actually happens. Could be 5 games, and this is just Xbox leaking it to be like, hey, we have 4 games. And then all of a sudden, surprise, there's more, and you get a
there's
fifth
more.
Oh wait, there's more. Another social or another pop culture reference. I like pop culture. Not everybody gets it, but I like it. Maybe AI could write better jokes for me. And then that's why I'm 90.
Go down that rabbit hole, buddy.
80-20. That's why I'm 80-20 for AI, because it could write really, really funny jokes for me. So that's who knows, they could do another one. There's been different ones that I've seen and heard about, but Kiln's been the one that a lot of people have actually set their sights on. So we'll see. Either way, these directs have been something that have been very, very looked forward to. They've done an amazing job with the presentation for the last 2 or 3 years now. It's something that never happened before, and then they just killed it the first year, and it's been a staple now for January, February, which is normally a dead year for a lot of these games. There's a lot of dead space between usually January all the way till March or April, and then you start getting into like the summer rush and things like that. So the direct has filled in perfectly, and they nail it every single time. So I don't think this year's going to be any different.
Yeah, so I guess that means it's me. I will say that first and foremost, I'm looking forward to Fable. Unlike Cork, who played it way back in the wee old days, I just recently played Fable. I just recently played 1 and 2 since COVID. And since COVID, I just played 1 and 2. I'm gonna get through 3 before 4, or I guess it's 4. Well, Fable, the newer one, comes out. I had a fantastic time with those 2 games, and I think Court hit it right on the nose when he said that like not a lot of RPGs have taken the time to actually kind of try to take a lot of the elements from the first 2 Fables. I haven't played through the third one, so I don't know if they're in there too, but they haven't taken the time to take those elements that are in those games and bring them into other RPGs or modernize them. I think one of the things that was super cool, and one of the controversies about the Fable trailer was like how the heroine looked. Some people said she looked ugly, some people like she looked fine, and I think a lot of people, when they were talking about this thing, forgot about the fact that you didn't really see it that much when you played because of the camera angle that you played it from. But remember that like one of the big systems in Fable was the attractiveness system, and how people responded and reacted to you based on your attractiveness level, which included your haircut, the faces that you made, your clothing that you wore, et cetera, and so forth. So I think I could be just going too deep in the weeds, but I feel like the because if you look at the different trailers, she looks a little bit different in each one. Like in some, she looks a little bit more goofy looking, in some, she looks a little bit more pretty looking. So I think that was like a hint at the attractiveness system that that they're implementing, where it actually is based off of what the character looks like. That could just be me digging in the weeds, but that's what I thought from looking at the trailers multiple times. Like you said, the reactiveness of the world to you, not just how you react to the world, is something that I'm really looking forward to. I hope they nail that from the original Fables. Having like Fable 1 and Fable 2 having the time skip, and you're like, okay, all these things that you did up to this point, and then there's a time skip, and then you go back and it's like, this is what happened because of all that. I'm hoping we see in the the little bit of clips that we've seen in the combat. It looks like the combat will be interesting. I think a lot of the reactivity stuff will be really cool to see in the game. Your morality, I don't think that if they're going to be a little bit more modern, a little less nonsensical about it, I don't necessarily think your character should be running around with halos and horns on, but like definitely there is a physical representation of your morality, or at least like a representation of your morality through the way that you interact with. Okay, because people don't like you, maybe you have to steal stuff instead of them giving it to you because you're the hero that everybody already knows you're the hero. So they're like, oh, we'll give you this thing because we know you're working to save Albion. Versus like if you're not so much the hero, it's like, oh, okay, now I gotta steal the shit from you because you won't give it to me. I think I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with that, and I hope they nail it. The Playground has done an excellent job with the Forza Horizon games. I know for a fact that just off of the Forza Horizon games, I know the open world is going to be fantastic. I know the open world is going to be fantastic because we like that's what the Horizon, that's what Playground Games does. So
and we're doing Forza Tech Engine, so I'm curious to see what that engine can do with an RPG. I'm excited on the technical level too. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to. I would rather them. I'm looking forward to it. Just like you, I have the same hope. So I hope I'm not like hyping myself up for disappointment, Court. I want them to take what Fable was and modernize it. Obviously, they don't have to do exactly the same thing, but take what Fable was back then and improve on it and modernize it to today. What were the things that were important in Fable, right? And it was you having a character and your character shaping the world around them, and then the world responding back to you. And I think if they nail that part of it, like we're all good, golden gravy. The humor should be there, and if we're looking at the way that they did the trailers, like they know that the humor should be there. Do I want to be able to walk around and just fart in people's faces? Probably not. Probably not. Like I don't really care. I don't really care about running up to people and farting in their face anymore. Like that, I was like, all right, this is childish. But like I do, like there should be humor there, and there should be some fun, and it shouldn't just be all like, oh, let's be super serious. But some of that stuff can be left in the past. It all just depends on what they do. So I'm really super looking forward to that. That's the game that I'm looking forward to most, honestly, out of the direct. Next up, I'll talk about Forza Horizon 6 real quick. So I love the Forza Horizon games, and I normally put about 20 to 30 hours into them, but I don't really like complete them. Like I don't do all the quests or whatever. They're kind of like, they're busy games. I drive around, I look at everything, see it's pretty. I normally play enough to do all the like in 4 and 5. I played enough in 4 and 5 to do all of the like the special, the showcase races, right? So I played enough so I can do the race around in the Warhawk in Forza Horizon 4, do the race against the train. Like I play enough to do all that stuff. So I put about 20, maybe 30 hours into the game, but I typically don't run through and beat everything like some people do. So I'm super looking forward to them taking that same level of excellence that they've had in the last, 5 titles, because I haven't played them all, so I don't know if all of them were great. I'm looking forward to them taking what they've done in the last 5 titles and bringing that to Japan, where everybody has been saying they should for the longest time. Um, it'd be cool to see Mount Fuji. Be cool to see them, somewhere in Shinjuku and doing stuff in the thing. I hope I hope obviously it would make sense for them to have more of an emphasis on things that are more Japanese culture. So the street racing should have more of an emphasis. Drifting should have more of an emphasis, even though they're already in the game. And just like make sure they do as they've done for England, as they've done for Mexico, as they've done for Colorado, as they've done for Italy, kind of give the vibe of the region and not just one particular place. So really super looking forward to them showing that. But I know I'm gonna put way more time into playing Fable than I am Forza Horizon 6. And Beast of Reincarnation, I'm kind of like up in the air. Um, Not a big Game Freak fan. I haven't played a Pokemon game since like Pokemon Yellow. Uh, um, Pokemon games are typically very janky and unappealing to me when it visually, but that trailer for Beast of Reincarnation looked pretty fire. Frame rate was a bit iffy, but that's a trailer. It's whatever. Um, I got to see it, and I think this is the opportunity for them to. They got to really show people that are only going to be on the fence like me, because I feel like if you're not a Pokemon fan, or if you haven't played like the 3 or 4 games that they've made that weren't Pokemon, you're like, it's the people that make Pokemon is not going to be that great if you don't like Pokemon. So I feel like the deep dive really they need to show like, yo, this is why you want to play that game. I'm glad it's not a Souls like, because that's the first thing that I thought of when I saw it. Same thing with you, Go Chell. I'm glad it's not just going to be a Souls like, so it's going to be more of a regular action game.
You're
I
a combo with a dog. Let's go.
I'm expecting there to, like, honestly, my first thought, and it still is, I'm expecting there to be like some kind of Pokemon aspect to it, like you're gonna collect some animals or something and fight. But I guess we'll see when we actually get the thing.
Gotta reincarnate them all.
Nah, facts, blood raven, facts. I feel it. But and then when it comes to the mystery game, like I said earlier in the thing, people have been hinting and rumoring at it being Kiln or something from Double Fine. But honestly, like the point of it being a mystery is that it's a mystery, and I'll look forward to seeing what it will be when I watch the direct. I don't care what it is. Because if it's something that I like, I'm gonna like it. If it's something that I don't like, I'm not gonna like it. Fable, honestly, is all that I need. They could have just did a dev direct that was just 30 minutes of Fable, and I would have been perfectly fine with that. So them having the other 2 games on top of that, and maybe a 4th and possibly a 5th, is just icing on the cake for me. So that's where I'm at with it.
All right. Cool. As far as what'd you think the mystery game was? We'll cut that real quick, and then we'll do we'll wave fair winds and following seas to Mr. Cork after this. What'd you think the mystery game was, Q?
I said that. I said I don't care what it is.
Oh, you don't care what it is. You don't have a thought.
I mean, like people are saying it's Kiln. It could be Kiln. Like it could be like they have so many games in the pipeline, and they have some first party and third party. The people that they're working with. It's just I'd rather it be a surprise. If they didn't announce it, they want it to be a surprise. I'd rather it be the surprise it's supposed to be.
That's fair. I'm in the camp that it is Kiln. If it is Kiln, I won't hate it because I did see Double Fine gameplay on it, and it looked like a lot of fun. It looked like a really cool multiplayer with a different aspect where you shape your kiln to carry water, and if your design's bad, then you won't have enough water when you deliver it. It's like It's a really interesting take on Capture the Flag. I really hope it's gotten a lot of polish since then, which I'd imagine it would. But dude, if it's killing, I'm down. I want Spyro 4, and then I kind of want it to be a Toys for Bob thing. And the reason I say that is there was I made a video a couple months back where there was that leak that Crash Bandicoot Nitro Team Fueled. I don't know how to say it, but my wife and I play the shit out of it. But it's supposed to be getting a next gen update with new places and new characters. I was hoping maybe that it'll be 5 games. The 4th game would be Spyro 4, and then they would say, "Oh, hey, by the way, we got an update for this game, and guess who's coming?" And it's Banjo as a racer. I know that's a stretch, but the leak did happen, and there was a logo on Reddit, and then it was taken down immediately. So I'm really hoping maybe Toys for Bob,
my friend.
But if it's not, I'll take Kiln, dude. That sounds fun. I wasn't feeling Keeper. Sorry.
No?
Wasn't feeling. No, sorry.
You weren't high enough.
No comment. But
I can see that for Keeper. It's not everybody's cup of tea, and it wasn't my cup of tea. But granted, though, I will say that's my fault because I didn't give it enough time. I have gaming ADHD, and I'm just jumping from one thing to the next thing, and I need to dedicate more time to it. So it's not because I don't think it's a great game. I just haven't given it the time for me to see it's a great game. Or maybe a bad game. I just haven't given it the time that it deserves to actually be played.
Now,
the problem is I played it in the middle of Ninja Gaiden 4, and I was already on the hype train for Ninja Gaiden 4. And I go, nope, I need to go back to the just hack and slash and parry. So I just went back
I loved it, but I will say this: the very beginning of the game had me almost be like, "Oh no." Because when you first started, it has you like balancing and trying to wobble, and I was like, "Not this Death Stranding bullshit."
I agree because I saw that too, and I was like, "Oh, if this is a balance simulator," I was like, "I'm probably gonna know."
Oh no! But then, like, once you get past a certain point, and the thing that makes it really good is that, like, as you play through, if you want to give it the time, give it the time because it definitely, like, as you play through it, it switches up, it changes. Like, it's not like each different little section, little part of it plays a little bit differently. And you kind of like, you're kind of wandering through the environment and doing the stuff, but it's I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it, but things change as you play through it.
That's fair. Sir, Blood Raven, yes. Nobody knows right now. There's definitely for sure a 4th mystery game. I think everybody's kind of been talking about. I think it might be a misdirect to where there could be another mystery game. Everybody's just focused on 4, and then, like I said, I did the whole, but wait, there's more, kind of thing. And I think there might be a 5th. That's just my opinion, though. I think they definitely could. Would I be, would it feel like a disappointment if there weren't 5 games? No. But I, if there was, the Kiln, I think it's Kiln. That's what I've heard. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think you're muted, Gold. Oh, sorry. I think he's busy. So yeah, I think it's Kiln. I would have to say, if there is a 5th game, I can't think of what it would be that would be such a major surprise or major shock. I'm trying.
Hi-Fi Rush 2.
That would maybe. I think maybe his Spyro comment. I think Toys for Bob would be, since they're no longer first party, I think they would be considered more of the partner preview.
Yeah. I just don't see. I don't see, like, I'm not the poo poo on Gold Shell's hopes. I just, because we know that the dev direct is typically like games that are coming out this year. The only game that was shown in direct that didn't come out the year that it was supposed to come out was Avowed, but that's because it got pushed like at the last second.
Yeah.
I don't feel like Toys for Bob is gonna unless they out there doing speedy work. I don't see Toys for Bob coming out with a Spiral game like this year, but I could be wrong.
Maybe. It could. I mean, like I said, they have a ton of other stuff that's in the pocket right now from Xbox that we might not know about.
Mhm.
I mean, how crazy
Who
would it
knows
be
how
if,
many other studios are working on multiple games, right? Like,
yeah,
we had rumors, we had things that we talked about before, but who knows how many studios are actually working on other than Obsidian. How many other actually let perfect thing to say other than Obsidian? Who knows how other many studios are doing that same thing, where they
Mhm.
have 2 or 3 games in the pipeline at a time, and you're like, oh, okay, they came out with a game 2 years ago. We're not expecting anything from them for another 2 or 3 years, and then boom, here's something else.
Yeah,
All the different over the last few years, all the different publishing games that were hinted at, and oh, here's the code words for this, and that kind of disappeared into the ether because we were all, you're not really struggling and like suffering for finding out what code words mean when you actually have games to play. So it's like some of those could pop up that we haven't heard about in years because we didn't need to.
yeah. I'm
If
gonna
there is a
say
fifth game, it could be anything.
I'm gonna say it's Gears E Day, and then when it doesn't happen, Boogs is gonna be very, very disappointed, and that will make me happy. So I will say it's Gears E Day. That's gonna be the 5th one, Boogs. You better hope for it if he's still in the chat.
It'll be like what, like the first 2 years. It'll just be like it'll be right after this. We're gonna talk about Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, Gold. You good?
You're back
All
with
right.
us?
Yeah.
All right.
My kids were getting loud, and I was like, "Hey guys, give me just a minute. I'm almost done."
Also, Sir Blood Raven said, Q, that you poo-pooed on it.
Put on it.
Oh, poo-poo all over it.
Awesome. Yeah. So we could go to the next topic. I guess my farewell. As I stated earlier in the show, I am taking a step back from Game Pass Gumbo. I have a lot of stuff in the pipeline right now, on social media and with other things that I don't think I can give Game Pass Gumbo the love and care that Gold Shell and Q have been putting into it. I think I think so. I got a lot of stuff. So like people said, or like I've said earlier, we just hit 1 million subscribers on Xbox subreddit. It's a big milestone. It's something that we're looking to reinvent on how we can change, especially with Reddit going the way that it is and being more of a social media platform, rather than like a community hub. That's kind of the way I've been seeing it as. I think reviews and previews and being a staple in Xbox kind of news and reviews and previews and things like that, and content creation, I think is the right way to go. We still have to talk with the community. We still have to see if that's something they want. Of course, they run the community. We're just there, just to help and kind of be a safety net for things like that. But in the end, moderators, even in my job, I'm a supervisor, and moderating is the same way. We don't, the community doesn't work for us. We work for the community. And that's how I feel like in any type of role that has not power, but has the ability to take away things from somebody else. Even when I'm a supervisor, like I said, I work for my agents. They don't work for me. They work for the company, kind of thing. And I look at moderating the same way. And that's how I'm trying to build our Xbox to be the next biggest thing with that mindset. And that's what we're trying to do is we want to work for the community to make reviews and previews, really cool stuff that we can really get behind, and see how we can grow even more to now 2 million or 3 million. I know I'm setting the bar pretty high. And that, just talking about it, you can see how much effort something like that, an undertaking, it can take. So that's why I think it's best, especially with these guys. They have some amazing ideas. They have some really cool stuff that I believe that they Gold was making really great cooking videos. Q does some really awesome playthroughs. He can highlight and showcase games. Me, I'm just here to fill time and just talk absolute nonsense in horrible UK accents that make FarQ's ears bleed. But I just, yeah, like I said, I just don't have the time to dedicate and really help grow Game Pass Gumbo in the same way that, I got other things to go. And I think the best case for me is to kind of step back and I'll still be on Breakfast with Boom. I'll still be doing web daves. I have signed up also to be on PTK Blam's podcast on Sundays as well. So yeah, I got a lot of things in the pipeline right now. Corkenstein Gaming as well is going to be taking a big turn. I'll probably be working on that tomorrow to reformat the page and change everything. Start getting me on mailing lists for publishers and developers and things like that. I just can't give the love that something as amazing as Game Pass Gumbo is. I just can't give it the time right now, and I think it's best that I step back as a permanent host, and let these guys take the floor because they got some pretty amazing things going on. So yes, as you know, I guess so long and thanks for all the fish.
Yeah, oh, yeah, my wife would love that comment. That's one of her favorite movies of all time.
So long, so long, so long, so long, so long.
So long, and thanks for all the fish. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Anyway, dude, I really appreciate it. And this kind of segue. My wife and I are going to go out to California in June. I promised her a Disneyland trip. We did not get, we did get a cool honeymoon when we first got married 12 years ago, but a couple family members are letting us use airline points and hotel points to make this happen. And hopefully I'm going to be out there in June to finally meet you during the 25th anniversary Xbox showcase, which you and I talked before we went live. Whether it's happening or not, it could either be Xbox or fan led. Either way, we're all going to gather as fans and toast to gaming. And like Web Dave said when he went to go meet you before, I'm excited to go out there and finally meet you for the first time in person, not camera to camera. And then we'll toast or whatever and just have a big old time. So and then lastly, I want to say, man, Q and I got some ideas that we're going to do, and we're real excited. But I also do want to extend my appreciation for sort of teaching me how to do this and becoming better at this myself. I mean, we've seen. I mean, go to the first episode. I mean, almost 2 years ago, dude. April will be 2 years of Game Pass Gumbo.
Oh,
that's pretty big. We did finally. I mean, we're still small potatoes. Like I said, my goal wasn't 5,000 subscribers, 6,000 subscribers, just to get people in here and just talking. I mean, we had a pretty good chat going today, and it was perfectly fine for me. But I appreciate your guidance, and whenever I have the time, I'll probably hit you up and see maybe if I can go on and join you in some of these other podcasts. But once again, thanks again, and as we say, and as a Navy vet, I wish you good in endeavors and fair winds and following seas.
There you go. Yeah, I'm always here. So whenever you guys need anything, will be able to jump on. I'll always be able to help where needed. Shoot me a message. I can, in the limited platform that I have, I'll help promote and do what I can for you guys. Like I said, Game Pass Gumbo is definitely a labor of love for me as well. So I have no problem helping you guys out and coming back whenever I can. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
It reminds me of an old Irish saying as well, here's to cheating, stealing, and fighting. Here, may you cheat death, may you steal the love of your life's heart, and if you're gonna fight, may you fight with your brothers. So thank you guys.
And it's something to be said that we did almost 30-minute debate about AI, and none of us got personal about it.
Yeah.
We all disagreed and moved on like grown-ups. Agreed to disagree.
I got some stern words for Cork after we get off the video camera there. Dude. Yeah, got stern words for that guy. Mr. 80% for AI.
I've already said my piece. I'm going to move on.
Awesome. Well,
Cork,
thanks again, guys. Like I said, I'm always here for you. So whenever you guys need it, please let me know.
Yeah. And of course, if you came in here for Cork and you like it, stick around. We got some good stuff coming. Since it's just me and Q, I mean, no slight to running almost 2 hours now, but we'll probably have something more in the vein of StarCraft where we're just, 30-minute videos or something like that, a little bit more digestible. But stick around. If you had fun here, the fun ain't going to stop because Cork left. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You guys have always done a lot of really great stuff with the previews and showcasing stuff. Like I said, your World of Warcraft video is very I was gonna say not inspiring, but you could learn a lot from it. It teaches you a lot, and just keep with that awesome content. You guys do have some really great ideas.
Thank you, bud. And can't wait to hang out with you in June and wish you the best. Is there any last things before we call it a day?
Nope. No,
Nope.
I'm good,
And Cork, Q, and myself, Goldshell, we're signing out. Eat game, be well. See you sometime soon.
Order up.
Bon appétit.